Hello there, Surfing17 once again, back from my little hiatus from uploading to YouTube. I'm bringing you the third part of my Fallout New Vegas Dead Money DLC. And as you can see, we were in a bit of a shit spot from that last video, after we sat through all the fucking talking, so I apologise once again with that bullshit, but this was, like I said earlier, one of my first run-throughs of this DLC, and I was listening to every word everybody had to say, because these universes are pretty damn fucking awesome, and if you don't appreciate them, then you're playing Fallout for the wrong reasons. So right now, we've got a first companion to help us through the rest of this DLC. Word to the wise, these guys can get incapacitated, but they can't die, so that's always pretty badass. And I'm just checking on my Pip-Boy now, so I can see where exactly I'm supposed to go. And I'm supposed to go to the next objective, basically, which is the next member of your Ocean's 11 squad. And yeah, here we go. So as I've mentioned before, this DLC is not the best looking thing you're ever going to see on an Xbox 360 or a PS3, but it's got a very interesting concept. It's got something that is very alluring at first, and its only grand weakness is how quickly it unravels when you play it, because it gets a little bit monotonous. But here's another ghost trapper, and this geezer is one of the more deadly versions of the ghost people you'll face. He runs at you. He's got one of the, what they call the bear traps on his forearm, as you can see there, but that dude got dicked in the face, so that's okay. Always remember to search your bodies. That's one of the best ways to get ammunition and various other interesting stuff. And as you can see, I didn't dismember him, so he got back up. Always be aware of that, but luckily enough, I've got God, and he just does the fist of God, and that dude's arsehole shatters, and we win. Once again, there's more Sierra Madre chips in that little fountain, but at this moment in time, I haven't realised that you can use the vending machines, or that you get an achievement for it, so be aware of that. The vending machines will make this DLC extremely easy for you if you use them, because basically you'll be looking all around this villa and all of its inhabitants and whatnot, and this is the vending machine as I'm speaking, and what will happen is you'll get recipes for it, so that it'll be able to trade chips for certain items, and you'll get stim packs, you'll get super stim packs, you'll get alcohol, you get a variety of different things you can actually get, and if you manage it correctly and you manage keep getting your chips back and keep investing them wisely in something that's going to benefit however you play this game, then you'll have absolutely no problem with this DLC. If you are having problems with it, you could always go into the difficulty and drop it all the way down to, baby piss easy, but I don't advise that, because it is always nice to struggle a little bit with anything, because that's how you learn.
Watch for traps.
And there you go, as you just heard, watch for traps, that means there's traps. And for anybody that doesn't know how to disarm mines, you would think you'd have to sneak up to them and press a button like you did on Splinter Cell, Double Agent I think it was, and maybe the ones before it. But no, you have to run at it like a fucking lunatic and bash A. But be ever so careful with this, and as I've said, this DLC is very, very dark. So as you look around these rooms, there's probably going to be the tripwires, the bear traps, look, there you go, there's a shotgun. And luckily enough, I have enough skill to be able to disarm this kind of shit. You don't get a lot of experience for doing it, but it's just one of those things that keeps you in the game and keeps you investing. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually looking for the shotgun that I've just disarmed, because I thought it would give it me. But I've been wrong in the past, and I'm wrong again. So when you disarm them, for some reason you don't get to keep the shotgun, which fucking blows if you ask me, because the weapons on this DLC are utter garbage. I hate using melee items unless I've got a melee spec character. Watch out for the two triggers there you go. I mean, they even look like hunting rifles a little bit. I mean, that rifle's so fun to use. This would make this DLC so easy. You gain instant kills from headshots in VATS. But instead, what do you get? You get a little 6-shooter, a police pistol. And this fucking DIY staff that looks like it's been built in IKEA with a bit of duct tape and a couple of kitchen knives. But carry on searching through here and just be ever so careful. There's a tripwire there and I only just see it. One of the cheeky ways of playing this DLC to make it easy for you is to turn the brightness up. That will help you see where you're going. It'll help you see the traps a lot clearer than you can see on the screen right now. But like in video 1, I did say that I'm not going to change the brightness for a game, which is one of the reasons why I hated fucking Doom 3, because that shit was dark, man. And this is just more mythos from the Fallout universe. Search every corner, because there's always going to be treasures, there's always going to be something. Be careful of the mines, And be careful of this noxious cloud that I'm about to approach, because it will hurt you. And as you can see, it's there, it's cloying, it's like a thick miasma of smoke. Tripwire, once again, every opening's probably going to be trapped, so just be careful. And if you see your character start to cough, you'll see a little indication on the screen meaning that you're in this gas, and that basically says get the fuck out of the gas as quickly as you can. And I fucked that up. So back away from those grenades if you go near them and you accidentally set them off. Because as you can see, even through the wall, it crippled my head and my arm, which is utter bullshit, because that wall is like, what is it, 4-inch thick? Unbelievable. And there's a new addition to this DLC, the Kane and Lynch colour correction effect that they've done on the screen there, with the blues and the colour bleeding slightly, which I think looks really cool, because I'm a massive fan of Kane and Lynch 2's aesthetic. The visual aesthetic in Kane and Lynch 2 is probably the best looking game this year for me personally. And I realise that if you look at the graphics, they're kind of shitty. It's just how they're conveyed with that visual style. I think it looks brilliant, and it gives me a mighty hard-on basically. And anything that borrows from the bleeding lights, the colour gradients going across the screen, you know, the high contrast stuff, the colour correction, he's going to win awards with me, because that shit, you know, it gets me off. It tickles my nipplets. Always check for in the ovens and things, because food in this DLC is very important, because it'll heal you when you don't have any stim packs, and you might find yourself in this DLC not having many stim packs at some point. And as you can see, I've got 2 stim packs and a bit of the food I've just picked up. One unique area of this DLC is because the weapons are so similar throughout. If you get one thing you're good with, you're probably going to find quite a few dozen versions to repair it, even if you don't have the really good repair skill, which is it Jury Rigger, something along those lines, which allows you to repair things with an item that's very similar, or like a similar size. And there you go, there's another trap with a cheeky shotgun underneath some desk here. And it makes me think, the people that have jerry-rigged these traps everywhere, they're pretty smart, and they're pretty deadly. You would think they would get some kind of employment in doing that, you know, like I don't know, a Steve Irwin of Super Mutants or something. Yet they're fucking about in derelict buildings, setting traps for people that'll probably never come here. Except for us, because we're retards and we're playing this DLC, and that's what the DLC wants us to do. So just keep progressing through these dark corridors, these wintry buildings that look nice and damaged from whatever conflict has destroyed this area. I'm thinking when the bombs dropped and activated the fallout. And here's more of the miasma, the gas. And one of the characters that you get, the Dean, he's a ghoul, and he actually gives you a passive perk that allows you to walk through the smoke for longer, because it doesn't affect you straight away. But be very careful, because inside the smoke there's the ghost trappers and the various ghost people, and they don't actually get affected by the smoke, so you can get digged. And to my left right now there's a tripwire, so be very careful. I don't know if I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. And just make sure that you stay on top of where you are. And have we killed him? No, he's running into the wall, but I'm getting fucked up by the gas, so be very careful. The rule of thumb on this game is the enemies will generally rush you, so if you sit and wait for them, it can sometimes be a better strategy than charging in, because when you do charge in, you never know how many enemies there's gonna be. And I don't know about your guys, but when I first played this game, I was a little bit gung-ho, and because my character was so strong on Fallout 3, why the fuck wouldn't you be? You'd already built up a really good dude, and your past experiences with these games was absolutely raping dudes, so you wouldn't have had any problem. But you start a new game, if you're crazy and you picked hardcore mode, which me and a lot of my friends did, then it was even worse. A good example is the section where you had to go to the Genghis Khan dudes, the Great Khans. And one of the missions had you going to find one of the women to help you convince the Great Khan that he shouldn't side with Caesar's legion, because it was going to be a bad thing, basically. And you had to go and find the sister or the cousin. She was a fucking female. I don't know who she was. I can't remember it. It's been a while. And she was near the Deathclaw Sanctuary. And it was kind of a fucking hell and high water situation for me, because there was the Deathclaws in the quarry, which you needed to go through to get to her, and if you couldn't go that way, you went the other way, and there was like 20 fucking giant rad scorpions that basically smiled at you and pulled out of the rape cannons and just took you out instantly. And I had a lot of trouble getting to that person. And that massive tangent, I do apologise, leads me to the fact I was trying to make. If you rush enemies on this game, you never know how many there's going to be. You could chase a dude round a corner and there could be 20 of his mates sat there, stroking shotguns. You really don't know, so be as careful as you can and watch out for more booby traps. Take the stimpaks, take the junk food, take what you can. We are scavengers, but it's how you survive in this game. This isn't a perk like Call of Duty, this is a necessity, so take what you want. And just keep making your way, following the glowing arrow tip at the bottom bar there. Up the stairs. And here we go to Dino, our second Domino, the entrepreneur, man of many talents, man without a real face because it fell off after the bombs dropped. And the basic gist of this conversation is we need him, he doesn't think we need him, he's kind of pretentious and a bit of a dick, so he's actually rigged the bottom of this seat with explosives to stop us from being able to fuck him about, because he means business. And there's a couple of speech choices there, as you can see, an explosive one, which I'm not spec'd for explosives. The only reason I use explosive on this game is because there was achievements for it, so I'm never going to go that route. I'm not the dude that runs around with the rocket launcher and likes to see things go boom. It's just not me. But I am the sweet talker, so as you can see, I've got a nice little speech challenge. And what we're going to be doing now is, now that we've got Dean, you have a choice of whether you want to keep God, who's, really strong and gets in there and beats people up, or if you want to take Dean, who's a little bit more passive-aggressive. He picks his shots because he's generally packing a pistol. And it all depends on your playstyle, once again, on how you want to play the DLC. I sticked with God because, the Fist of God, no one's going to argue with the Fist of God. That dude just drops that shit and everybody falls down. But just continue with the conversations. And as you can see, I've sped it up because that last video was fucking hell. It's got a couple of views and I'm totally surprised. I thought people would just turn that on and hate it. But instead we're treated to this chipmunk voice and this nice skipped up conversation. Oh god. It just goes to prove, man, you can speed anything up and put it into a song and you'll probably sell millions. And just look at those YouTube videos with the fucking really serious news reports where people have just done the auto-tuning and turned it into some dance song and it's got like 2 million hits. And it's some dude talking about a rapist on their estate. It's fucking sick, it's fucking hilarious, and it just goes to show how little talent half of the popular artists have these days when they're just fucking speaking over some bullshit track. As you can tell, I'm not the biggest fan of popular music. I like all types of music if it's good. If I don't, I think it should burn in hell. And then all you have to do is come out here and be careful if you fall down here, because you will take fall damage. And I'm always tentative on these games because the amount of times on Fallout 3 I fell off something I thought I'd be fine with and I did a little dolphin drop and died. And it's never cool because you never know when you've last saved because it's such an auto-save heavy game. So you're looking through all your saves and you're like, motherfucker, I'm like 20 minutes back and I've lost everything. And as you can see, we haven't got a lot of ammo with the guns, and I'm actually going to run out of ammo at one point. Be aware of the gas straight away, try and get through it as quickly as you can. Which can be a lot harder to do than it is to say, because this area is kind of maze-like. And I think they've actually designed it for you to take Dean, so that you don't have any trouble getting back to the plaza. But instead I chose God, so there's a ton of fucking smoke everywhere, and my eyes are bleeding as I try and go through it. But apparently not God's, because God's got asbestos in his eyes and he's tough as balls. Oh! Tell a lie, that dude just got owned by God. But we're coming to the end of this video, so thanks for sticking with it to part 3, and I'll see you guys in part 4. You take care now.